That is wide. And Gauff into a second semi-final here in Dubai. That was a very, very solid performance from the third seed. She came into...
I'm sitting here completely speechless after what just went down on that tennis court. My brain is still trying to process the sheer brutality of what Coco Gauff just did to Alexandra Sabalenka in that quarterfinal match.
From the third seed, she came into a cauldron of an atmosphere here with the crowd behind Eala, but she kept them quiet, winning the first 10 games. Yes, there was a little wobble as Eala attempted to come back.
Look, we all thought this was going to be an absolute war. Everyone was talking about how this would be the grittiest, most tactical battle of the entire tournament. Sabalenka had all the tools to give Coco serious problems. But instead of a three-set thriller, we watched an American superstar walk onto center court and completely demolish one of the tour's most dangerous players. Forget whatever clips you've seen online. I'm about to show you exactly how Coco delivered the most devastating performance we've seen all year. The numbers on this stat sheet are absolutely mind-bending. I need to address both fan bases here, because this result is going to send shockwaves through the tennis world. Coco supporters, you deserve to celebrate today. Your girl just proved every single critic wrong in the most emphatic way possible. All those questions about her consistency, all those doubts about her big match temperament, she didn't just answer them, she obliterated them. Sabalenka fans, I know this stings badly. That 6-0, 6-2 scoreline is brutal to look at. Your player just got schooled by someone operating on a completely different wavelength. But here's the thing, this kind of humbling experience often creates champions. She just learned what the absolute peak of women's tennis looks like, and sometimes you need that reality check to reach the next level. Now let's tear apart what actually happened out there, because the raw data tells an incredible story. We spent all week praising Sabalenka's court positioning and her ability to construct points without relying on cheap winners. Today, that entire game plan got exposed in the most savage way imaginable. Check out Sabalenka's serving numbers. She got 61% of her first serves in play, which should have been plenty to start those grinding exchanges she loves. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. She only won 32% of those first serve points. Think about how catastrophic that is. She's landing her primary weapon and losing the point 7 times out of 10. What's happening here is that Coco completely disrespected that serve. She was camping inside the baseline, treating every delivery like a sitting duck. Sabalenka couldn't hit a single ace, which meant she had zero way to keep Coco honest. The American was reading her toss, taking massive cuts, and hijacking every single point from the opening shot. When your first serve is getting destroyed like that, the pressure on your second serve becomes absolutely crushing. Last round, Sabalenka was winning 74% of her second serve points. Against Coco's speed and court coverage, that number crashed to 40%. She was terrified to put anything with pace on it because she knew Coco would punish her immediately. The tactical chess match Sabalenka wanted never materialized because Coco refused to let her establish any rhythm whatsoever. Sabalenka was constantly defending, constantly scrambling, never able to set up her preferred patterns. Here's the most terrifying part of this entire breakdown. Coco delivered this beatdown while still fighting her own demons. She hit 8 double faults in a match that only lasted 14 games total. Her first serve percentage was just 55%. In any normal scenario, giving away that many free points should lead to a competitive 3-setter. But Coco Gauff isn't normal. She's built different. How do you double fault 8 times and still deliver a bagel and breadstick? You do it by being absolutely lethal on every point that stays in play. When her first serve landed, she won 74% of those points. Even on second serves, she was winning 64%. She masked her service struggles by dominating every baseline exchange. The point differential tells the whole story. Coco won 55 total points to Sabalenka's 33. That's a plus 22 margin that shows complete and utter control from start to finish. Want to see how thoroughly Coco broke Sabalenka's spirit? Look at this sequence. She won 10 straight games. Picture being Sabalenka in that moment. You lose the first set 6-0. Sit down trying to regroup, then immediately fall behind 4-0 in the second. That's not just losing, that's psychological warfare. Sabalenka's longest winning streak was 2 games, and that only came when Coco was already cruising toward the finish line. For nearly an hour, nothing Sabalenka tried worked. Every adjustment got countered immediately. The breakpoint conversions show Coco's killer instinct perfectly. She created 9 opportunities and converted 6 of them. When she smelled blood in the water, she attacked without mercy. Meanwhile, Sabalenka only converted one break chance despite Coco's service struggles. This match proves something scary about where Coco's game is right now. She just dismantled a top player while clearly not at her absolute best. If she can deliver this kind of destruction while fighting her own technique, imagine what happens when everything clicks. For Sabalenka, this has to serve as a massive wake-up call. That 32% first serve win rate needs to be burned into her memory. She learned today that grinding and courtcraft aren't enough against the elite monsters of this sport. She needs a weapon that can earn free points because players like Coco don't get tired and they don't get intimidated by long rallies. The flight home is going to be rough, but sometimes these brutal lessons create the hunger needed to reach that next level. She needs to develop a serve that can back opponents off the baseline, because without that weapon, this same result will keep happening against the tour's best athletes. So what's your take on this absolute clinic? Coco fans, does this performance make you believe she's ready to dominate this tournament completely? Or do those double faults still worry you heading into the semifinals? Sabalenka supporters, how does your player bounce back from this reality check? What's the first thing she needs to address when she gets back to practice? Drop your honest reactions below, and let me know if you think we just witnessed a changing of the guard in women's tennis.